Dear students, I have uploaded many video lectures on literary and critical terms. You must have watched my video on, say, three unities: objective, correlative, dissociation of sensibility, uh, willing suspension of disbelief, and many more. Today, I'll discuss the term allegory. In this video, I'll explain the term allegory to you, and I will also try to take some examples of the text in order to illustrate my point. So let us now start. So let us now discuss the term allegory. Now you must have heard some sentences where the teachers always say that this has some metaphorical significance. This has some, say, allegorical significance. So, what is the meaning of that when it is said it has symbolic significance, it has metaphorical significance, it has allegorical significance? That something which seems to us at the surface is not basically the intention of the writer to be communicated. So, an allegory is a story within a story. A story within a story. In linguistics, you will study two kinds of structures: deep structure and surface structure. In allegory, it has a surface story and one hidden story. There is one story which moves at the surface level of the writing, and then there is a hidden story, the message to be communicated by the writer. If we take some general example, for instance, if two neighbors are fighting with each other, or throwing rocks at each other's homes, we generally take it, if we take it at surface level, the meaning is quite simple, that the two neighbors are fighting, they are not in good relations. But the allegorical meaning can be that this is a war between two countries. It's something which is very obvious. But generally, allegories are quite subtle. You have to derive the meaning out of that. Then what kind of meaning does an allegory give at the hidden level? It generally has the moral significance. So the story, one story at the surface level and one story at the hidden level, and this story which is at the hidden level conveys the moral significance. In most of the allegories, the hidden story has something to do with politics, religion, or morality. And that is why sometimes we say that it's political allegory or it's a religious allegory. Now, when authors are not able to communicate the thoughts directly to the readers, then they take the help of allegories. So in allegories, abstract ideas sometimes are communicated by some concrete characters. Now, literary allegories typically describe situations and events or express abstract ideas in terms of material objects, persons, and actions. We can take the example of Plato, Cicero, Augustine, they made use of allegory. But allegory was very popular in Middle Ages. And there's a famous French didactic poem, Roman de la Rose. English translation is Romance of the Rose. I generally give the example of this poem while teaching to his choir mistress, which is an example of, carpe diem. Eat, drink, and be merry philosophy. Now, this poem illustrates the allegorical, technique of personification, in which fictional character, and in this case is a lover, transparently represents a concept or a type. As in most allegories, the action of the narrative stands for, this word is very much, stands for. It stands for something not explicitly stated. Something which is not directly stated is conveyed through some allegorical characters. Now, in this poem, Roman de la Rose, the lover's eventual plucking of the crimson rose represents his conquest of his lady. Now, other notable examples are John Bunyan, a famous work, The Pilgrims Progress, 1678. It's a famous example of allegory. Or you can take one, 15th century morality play, and it is anonymous text. Authorship is not known. Everyman, the name of the play is Everyman. And we have here the characters like knowledge, beauty, strength, death, representing something. Now, if we come to the modern time, this novel, Animal Farm, is the best example of allegory by Orwell, George Orwell, and call it political allegory. It's literature's most famous allegories. The surface story is about a group of farm animals who rise up, kick out the humans, and try to run the farm themselves. This is actually the surface story. It's about Animal Farm. The hidden story is about Russian Revolution. And this is actually the message to be communicated by the novelist. And each of the characters represents some figure from the revolution. We have pigs actually in the Animal Farm. Pigs represent communist leaders like, Stalin, Lenin. We have the dogs also as characters there in the Animal Farm. They also represent something. The humans are there. The humans represent, for example, the capitalists. Horses are there as characters in Animal Farm. They represent the working class. So actually this is the hidden meaning. Apart from that, we have in Elizabethan age one poem by Edmund Spenser, and that is the Fairy Queen. The Fairy Queen. This is an example of an allegory. To a certain extent, we have some traces of allegorical points in The Tempest also by Shakespeare. You can also take The Scarlet Letter by Hawthorne as an example of allegory. So, in an allegory, The writer tries to convey a message that can be related to politics, religion, or morality. At the superficial level, at the surface level, we have one story, but at the deeper level, there is another story, and this is actually the purpose of the writer to be communicated. The story, which is at the deeper level, conveys the moral significance. It's all about the term allegory. Thank you.